What's the one kind of leverage that could make a narcissist panic? I know you're out there thinking nothing makes them panic because they're constantly making you panic. They love to keep you in a state of fear. That's what narcissists do. But there is one kind of leverage that makes a narcissist panic so that you can flip the script on them, flip the dynamics so that you can make them panic instead of the way they treat you. Before we dive in, make sure that you have subscribed here and you've hit that notification bell, because if you're dealing with a narcissist in court and negotiations or even any relationship, you need tools. You need tools to flip that power dynamic fast. And that's exactly what we do here. Today, we're talking about the one kind of leverage that makes a narcissist panic. I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. I don't want you to feel like your safety is at risk. Not something where they're going to come and attack you. This is something that exposes their entire facade. So here's the thing. Narcissists don't fear you. What they fear is being exposed. That's the truth. A narcissist doesn't fear confrontation. They don't fear arguments. They don't fear conflict. They fear exposure. Narcissists survive off of their image. Everything is about image, reputation, how they look to the world. I call it the window dressing. They want that narrative control. They need everyone to see them as either the hero or the victim or the martyr or the good parent or the charismatic one, the misunderstood one. Their entire identity rests on outside perception. So the kind of leverage that makes a narcissist panic is leverage that exposes their image. I call it their diamond level supply. There's coal level supply. Coal level supply is manipulation, the chaos they keep you in, the moving of the goalposts, the smearing, the lining up of the flying monkeys, all of that sort of thing. That's secondary to image. And they will let go of that manipulation, deception, control, chaos piece of it if they think their image is going to be threatened, because everything matters around their image, more than their children, more than money, more than anything, because when their mask cracks, everything else feels like, for them, it's collapsing. So what's the definition of panic-inducing leverage? The leverage that frightens narcissists the most is documented, undeniable patterns that expose who they truly are, not isolated events, not emotional stories, not accusations, patterns they can't argue with, patterns they can't twist, patterns they can't charm their way out of, patterns that show the real person behind the mask. So what does this look like? It looks like written contradictions, broken agreements, withheld information, repeated rule violations or violations of court orders, inconsistent timelines, provable deception, messages that contradict their public persona. When you hold patterns, you hold the truth. And the truth is their kryptonite, because you're just simply holding a mirror up and demonstrating this is who you truly are. This is world. This is who they truly are. Why does this terrify them? Because narcissists carefully curate their public identity. They say the right things. They look calm in public. They pretend to be the reasonable, caring, cooperative one. But patterns destroy that illusion. Patterns say, no, this isn't a misunderstanding. This isn't stress. This is the truth. It's not just a bad day. It's who they truly are consistently with documented proof. Judges love patterns. Attorneys love patterns, guardian ad litems love patterns, custody evaluators, forensics, therapists. Patterns tell the whole story without you ever having to raise your voice, without you having to use the word narcissist. And that's why narcissists panic, because patterns take away their favorite weapon, which is plausible deniability. What is a plausible deniability? Oh, I call it the pearl grabbers. Oh my goodness, I thought I had you on that email chain. I can't believe I left you off of there. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. You're taking it out of context. It's this ability to pretend, the ability to gaslight, to distort. All of that is gone when you see consistent patterns. And so how do you create this leverage quietly? You don't announce your leverage. You don't threaten it. You don't yell. It's just every time they do something that they shouldn't have done, or they don't do something that they should have, you just document it down. And then you just silently say to yourself, thank you for the gift. Because now you are collecting evidence against them using their own words, their own behaviors. You don't tell them thank you for the gift. No, you do it silently, strategically, consistently. So here's how. You document everything in writing. No phone calls if you can avoid it. No verbal agreements. Forge communication in written form. So you want it to be either email, because it has a time and date stamp, or a court-approved app if you are a parent, you're trying to co-parent with somebody who's toxic. You want to keep your messages short and neutral. When you stay calm, their emotional instability becomes obvious. Ask direct questions that they must answer. Their avoidance becomes proof. Mirror their words back to them. Their contradictions become their leverage. You said this. Am I correct that this is what you said? Save everything. Screenshots, timelines, refusals, delays. This is the leverage that keeps them up at night. And to get you started, get my Doc the Narc cheat sheet at docthenarc.com, or just from the QR code right here, and then get started documenting things the right way. So why does this leverage work every single time? Because a narcissist cannot handle losing control of the narrative, their story, the perception of them, their own power, with the power that they think they hold over you, being the hero or being the victim. When you build pattern-based leverage, you create accountability, transparency, your own credibility rises, by the way, which helps create the legal consequences that you want to have, the legal results that you want to have. The emotional consequences are that they're panicking and you become more and more powerful. And I mean powerful in a grounded power way. You force them into a corner. You seal off all the exits so that they can't use their go-to favorite weapons. Chaos, gaslighting, denial. None of that works anymore. And that is when you stop negotiating from fear and start negotiating from power. So what happens when you finally have leverage? When a narcissist senses that you have leverage, that threatens their image. And then you're going to see a few different potential reactions. One is panic. Panic, it means that either they become very agreeable or they start to have a tantrum. They have a tantrum. You see that narcissistic rage come out, deflection, projection, lying, denying. It's okay, because it's just like a child having a tantrum on the floor. They're always the worst right before they're ready to give up. Either way, their reaction reveals exactly how powerful your leverage is. And if you're so ready to make them panic, I just want you to write the word panic in the comments right now. Just panic, because it's time for them to be the one to panic instead of you, right? The one kind of leverage that makes narcissists panic isn't yelling, it isn't arguing, it isn't fighting, it's not pushing back. It's you documenting the patterns that expose what they're so desperate to hide, because narcissists can't fight facts. They can't argue with timelines. They can't charm their way out of written evidence. This is the leverage that wins cases, wins negotiations, wins interactions, and it wins back your power. So make sure that you have the Doc the Narc cheat sheet to get started. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with somebody who needs to hear this information. If you've ever built anything from scratch, whether it's a business, a brand, or a podcast, you know there's nothing small about it. The decisions, the hustle, the grind, the pressure, it's so all-consuming. And that's why I was so grateful to find Shopify when I set up my own store, shop.rebeccazung.com. Shopify powers millions of businesses worldwide and handles 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from giants like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just starting out. It simplifies everything: inventory, payments, analytics, marketing, all in one place, and their built-in tools make it so easy to run email and social campaigns that keep customers coming back. If you're selling globally, Shopify can help you do that too in over 150 countries. If you're selling in person, their award-winning point of sale brings your online and retail worlds together. And with 99.9% uptime and the best converting checkout on the planet, you'll never miss a sale. Get all the big stuff for your small business right with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial and start selling at shopify.com/negotiate. That's shopify.com/negotiate. And the next video I want you to watch is how to use narcissist words against them. Because once you understand the power of leverage, the next step is learning how to turn their own words into the evidence that traps them. All right, so watch that video next. And remember that they only win if you give in. You got this.